If you've ever been through or read about a spiritual awakening, you will know what the dark night of the soul is. The dark night of the soul is that moment where your sense of reality starts to drop out from beneath you. You feel a lot of fear, you feel alone, you feel angry, among other things, defensive. And things just don't feel real. They feel scary and uncertain. It is part of a process of reconstructing the way that you see your life and the world and the people around you and the things and ongoings around you. I think, whether you're spiritual or not, we can all go through this. It's a shift in consciousness. It's not a gimmick to say that it's a shift in consciousness, because it's exactly what it is. Instead of being conscious to the things that you were exposed to and taught, you decide to take stock of everything and figure out what's for you and what's not, and what's real and what's not, what's productive and what's not. Right now, it is overwhelmingly obvious that racism is not something that is productive. It is overwhelmingly obvious that we need to stop oppressing people. We need to stop putting people in places of fear and judging them negatively when they do not deserve it. There are so many other things that in reality, maybe it's not you directly, maybe it's not your conscious mind, but maybe you know someone around you that has that intention, that negative intention. It's no longer enough to say, I'm not like that. We are all course correcting from here on out. Who, from an individual level to a corporate level to a government level, is there to oppress you, and who is pro-oppression, and who is there as pro-liberation? Who is there to liberate humanity? I think as long as you are not hurting people and you are not actively misleading people and you are just trying to live your best life, that in its own is what liberation is. Don't get in the way of other people trying to do the same thing. Our standard, I think, as humanity really needs to shift into something that is a little more full of integrity. We should all have respect for each other. These are like things we learn in kindergarten, and somehow we lose them along the way. We see people throwing temper tantrums over the fact that they're no longer going to have their oligarchic entitlement or gift that they thought they were going to get, the throne even, whatever. No, you're not going to get that. I'm sorry. We know that we have to phase out fossil fuels for the most part. We know that we have to do that. And maybe the economy takes a blow because of it, and a lot of people take blows because of it. And I'm in no way saying that the people who lose jobs or anything like that I don't have sympathy for them. But on a grand scale, we need to start the process of weaning away from shit like this, because it's unreasonable. Deciding to pull out of agreements that look towards making sure that the earth is healthier, that we have clean water, that our air is breathable. There's no justification in the world that you can give me that says we're just going to keep on trucking and we're going to repeal stuff so that we can just keep living life the way we know how to live it. This goes for all types of stuff. This goes for how you view people and they're different from you and what you decide to do about that. There's no more room left, especially on a person-to-person level, to put yourself above or below other people. It's unreasonable now to do that. I think going forward, we really need to marry technology and nature. And this is something I talk about with my partner a lot. It's a belief that we both share. Like, there's a way to have technology and nature work in tandem. And a great example of that is the bioremediation of oil spills using fungi. They take something that is destroying an ecosystem in the water and they turn it into more life. The fungi will take apart the hydrocarbons and develop it into a system where plants can grow and insects can live and birds can eat, so on. You know, like, we can look at the future in a really hopeful way if we put our consciousness towards figuring out and really holding on to those ideals. You know, we're in a stage right now of a lot of misinformation. Like, every time I turn on my phone and go on my Instagram, like, I'm seeing one opinion and then I'm immediately seeing the other opinion. I'm seeing one piece of information and I'm immediately seeing a piece of information that counters that. You know, it's just, there is just an overwhelming sense that everything is just confusing, you know? And given the fact that we have algorithms and we have these apparently very intelligent systems in play to make sure that we are receiving the information that we're supposed to receive as, you know, users of a specific device or app or whatever. You tell me why the fuck I have to see all of this convoluted bullshit all the time. I don't know. I think it's up to us to, as people, as individuals, look at who is oppressing you, who wants to liberate you, who is pro-liberation, who is pro-oppression, you know? Even if something that someone says is something that you agree with because it suits you, if that thing hurts other people, it's wrong. And it needs to go. I just really feel like it is time to shift away from this bullshit and shift right into integrity. You know, we don't need to bomb information on everybody all the time and just fight and create tension necessarily all the time. Sometimes it is useful, like right now it is useful to see what's going on in the streets of different cities and who really is taking what action towards the liberation of people, and what is good, what is bad. You know, there are bricks just being planted randomly in riot hotspots. You know, who put them there? It's time. It's time that we take, you know, metaphorically or literally, however you'd like to take it. We have to take this awakening of our world seriously. It's time to see it as an opportunity as opposed to a confirmation that we have a thumb over us. That may be true, but multiple realities can be true at the same time, and we can expand upon the things that we want to see the world evolve into and minimize and turn away from the things that fuck us up and do not have good intentions. Take stock, make notes, write stuff down. Don't just rely on what your thoughts are telling you in the moment, because thoughts are flighty. If you really want to understand your viewpoints on the world and the information that you are digesting, you have to write about it. You have to put it in a format that you can reckon with externally instead of in your own mind, so that you can make sober decisions and make sober conclusions about what is happening, not just in your backyard, not just in your front yard or your city, but in your province or state, in your country, and then the country beside you, and then the countries that are far away. What is happening? And how can we get the liberation of people and for them to just live a life without having to be in fear? How can we make that a priority and a reality? Because everyone deserves to do that main prerogative, which is just to live a decent life where they're fed and they have people around them that they love and they're not afraid to express their freedom.